What's going on, guys? It's Alex here. So a couple weeks ago I was doing an Amazon search on some sharpening supplies and I ended up coming across these stones. I've had a couple questions about them since then, ended up buying them obviously. These things range in price anywhere from $9 to like $15, which I think is what they are now. I bought these for like $10.95. For some reason the price seems to fluctuate. I'm not real sure why, but that's what it is as of now. It's probably going to be different once I release the video, but it is what it is. Now I don't do unboxing videos because I think they're stupid. But I wish I had in this case because I would have gained some useful footage. But as soon as these things came out of the packaging, I noticed something about them. So let me get the camera set up and I'll show you what I noticed. Okay, so when I took these out of the packaging, they were all stacked together like this and wrapped with saran wrap and then wrapped in like a packaging foam. Maybe you can tell, maybe you can't, but these have a big bow in them. For a stone this thin, that's not a good thing. Maybe for a thicker stone you could flatten it, but for stone this thin, you can't flatten these. And setting these on a flat surface and putting pressure on them, these don't have any flex, and most likely at some point they're going to break relatively soon. Okay, so just let's compare these to the Edge Pros real quick here. Here's the 220 grit Edge Pro, the 600 grit Edge Pro, and the 1000. These cost $17 a piece. They never used to be this expensive. They used to be $12. Now they're $17. These you can buy the whole set, or I bought the whole set for $10.95, I believe. They are $15 now. The length on the Edge Pros it's exactly 6 inches. The length on these knockoffs, it's basically what they are cheap knockoff stones. 5 7/8 of an inch exactly. The width is 3/4 of an inch, and the Edge Pros are 1 inch. So we'll go ahead and we'll start sharpening the spyderco Endura 4. This is the ZDP 189 version. I'm just going to start with the 180 grit and work my way up through without using the Edge Pro stones. So I'll start with 180 and I'll finish on the 3000. We'll see what the edge looks like at the end. So it seems like they're removing metal quite well, at least the 180 is, it should. It's 180 grit. The plastic base on these doesn't stick to a wet cloth as well as the Edge Pros do. The Edge Pros have an aluminum base. Usually once they sit on a wet washcloth or a wet towel like this, they stay. They're not moving anywhere. Plastic doesn't seem to work as well. I buy Smart Water because it's the best water out there for my sharpening stones. I'm just kidding, this is tap water. In all honesty, the 800 grit stone doesn't really feel that much different than the 400 grit stone did. I'm not really noticing a huge difference in the scratch pattern on the knife. I don't know what that's all about, but we'll keep on working it. What's next? 400, 800. Oh, so it goes from 800, so the next stone is going to be 1500. Now these are the stones with the big bows in them. These aren't as bad, they still have a bow, but these are the ones that are really bad. Man, I'm telling you, this does not feel like a 1500 grit stone. It doesn't even feel like a 1000 grit stone. A lot of times new stones will have kind of like a grittier surface when they're new, which will kind of work its way down. I don't know if these will. Usually it doesn't take that long. Usually it only takes a couple swipes of the knife and you're down into the good stuff. Onto the 2000. That doesn't feel nice. It's like nicks in the stone. I don't know if you can see that. It's like a bump. So that's not good. A nick is really not going to be good for the blade. Okay, so this is off of the 2000 grit stone, and that does not look like a 2000 grit bevel to me. Honestly, well, let's reserve judgment until we get to the 3. Okay, so I'm just finishing up here on the Knives Plus strap block. Initial impressions after sharpening one knife on these stones. Let's see here. I don't think that these grits are correct. So I'm gonna put these into piles, and each one of these piles are the same grit. At least that's what I can tell. So we've got the 180 grit, which felt like 180 grit. And then we have the 800 and the 400, which to me seemed exactly the same. I honestly could not tell a difference between the scratch pattern on the knife between these two grits. Then we had the 1500 and the 2000. Both of these grits felt identical. Again, I couldn't tell a difference on the knife. The 3000 seemed a little bit better than these two, and I could tell a difference. Actually, this is the 1500. Where's my 3000? Oh, here's the 3000. So the 3000 ended up feeling finer than these two, the 1500 and the 2000. And the 3000 is not a 3000 grit. There's absolutely no way this is 3000 grit on any scale. I compare this about to a 1000 grit on a Norton stone. Another thing is that all of these grits are super close. I mean, it's making the distinction between all of these grits is kind of difficult, other than the 3000s. I think you kind of get what you pay for in this instance. We'll finish stropping this, and it's going to be sharp, but this is what the edge is looking like. That is not a 3000 grit edge. To me, that looks more like a 1000 grit Norton stone edge. Well, it cut it. It didn't whittle it, but did cut it. So that's kind of what it's looking like. It doesn't look like a 3000 grit edge, at least not to me. Let's put this on the 600 grit edge pro stone and see if that makes a difference. Okay guys, so I don't know if you're going to be able to really tell the difference here on camera, but this side is like, I spent maybe a minute on the 600 grit edge pro stone, and this is what the edge looks like. This side is from the 3000 grit Chinese stone, and that's what the edge looks like. So hopefully you can see the difference there. So yeah guys, that's what happens when the base falls off. Yeah, that's kind of funny. I was about to wrap this video up. That one's still on there. That's still on there. That one seems well adhered. It's just held on by glue. So don't rely on the bases. Yeah, I think you get a much better value out of a stone like this. This comes with a rubberized base. This is $12 versus $15. I would not buy these, to be honest with you. It'll be interesting to see how well these last. I may use them here and there for different things and see what ends up happening. So those are my thoughts on these stones. They did sharpen a knife. They got it just as sharp as any other stone would in that grit range. It sharpens it just fine. If you have a strop to remove the burr, you're going to get a sharp knife if you follow all the basic principles. So I guess I'll leave it up to you as to whether or not you want to spend the $12 or $15, whatever they're priced at now on these stones. Yeah, I'll leave a link to these stones in the description if you want to check them out for what it's worth. If you just want to look at the price, I don't know. Other than that, those are my thoughts on these things. Thank you guys for watching. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Don't forget to like the video, and I'll see you next time.